November the 4th, 1982, changed my life forever. It was today that I gave birth to my two beautiful twins, Charmaine and Jermaine. Charmaine weighed 5 pounds, 11 ounces. Jermaine weighed 6 pounds, 14 ounces. So as I held those babies in my arms, I felt tears of joy and happiness, but also doubt and confusion about what kind of mom I would be and how I would help them to reach their full potential. So as time went by, my parents lived by, so they were very encouraging for me being a mom and also as a future entrepreneur. So as a new mom with twins, there was one thing that was consistent. There was lots of bottles to wash, lots of diapers to change, lots of crying. And I'm trying to figure out whether they're crying because I'm not holding them enough, or if they're crying because one wants my attention more than the other. And so I just embraced it and washing bottles, changing diapers, and they weren't sleeping at the same time, and so I was sleep deprived. So as time went by, about a year went by, and I noticed that Jermaine wasn't progressing at the same pace as Charmaine. And I was wondering, I said, something is not right. Deep here, I felt something was not right. So as a new mom, where do I start? So I decided to start with a pediatrician. So I started with a pediatrician, and the pediatrician said, everything is fine. So that didn't work for me. Something was wrong. So we went to the audiologist. They did their tests in the little booth, but still, they said everything was fine. There was something that wasn't right, because you could call his name. Sometimes he would look out into space. Other times he would play. Something was just not right. Even though he was walking, he wasn't speaking. So what I did my own extensive research as well. I took him to the Developmental Evaluation Center. Say that 3 times twice, okay? And they also examined him and felt like, oh, he's fine. So my research took me to Dr. Schopler at UNC Chapel Hill. He was one of the pioneers of autism. And after an extensive day-long test, he came back to tell me that Jermaine had autism. So my heart sank, but there wasn't an autism spectrum at that time, so they didn't know if he would speak. So I knew he would speak. I would never refuse to believe that he would not. So I learned with their assistance to mother a child and raise a child with autism as well. And as time went by, he said the word mama. And I said, my eyes just teared up because he said mama. And I said, he said, Mama. They was like, yeah, he's probably making baby sounds. Like, no, he said, Mama. I was right. He said, Mama, because he began to talk and he began to speak. So today, Jermaine, he's 42. He speaks, he reads, he uses his iPhone and annoys his sister all the time. So that's a good thing. So that same persistence, that same commitment and belief in myself that my dad and my mom placed in me early on, I also placed that in my business. I went in, as I became an entrepreneur, I received a large contract. I was awarded a large contract with a large academic institution. And I started looking for funds because I had to scale up. So I knocked on doors and knocked on more doors. And I kept getting no's as answers. So finally, a mentor of mine introduced me to a banker that they knew. And after a phone conversation and several meetings and several of those bankers look, y'all know what I mean? Those banker looks that they give you when they're talking to you. He believed in me and he gave me the loan. And so I was able to scale my business. So my lesson to everyone, what it took to raise my son, all the skills that I used to raise my son to become the man he is today, that even though the roads are hard, they may be difficult, there may be many challenges, they may be roadblocks, but we have the strength, we have the persistence, we have the determination that we will succeed.